You're dieting harder than you've ever dieted in your life. Chicken, broccoli, sadness, the full combo. And yet, your jeans still fit like you bought them 3 sizes too small. The problem isn't your effort, it's your routine. I bet you are doing at least 3 of these 10 sneaky habits that sabotage fat loss without you even realizing it. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for the last one because it's the biggest killer to your weight loss journey. Let's dive into habit number 1. That innocent handful of nuts while you're cooking dinner? Those 3 bites of your kid's leftover sandwich? The cheese sample stall at Costco you just happened to pass by for a second time? Yeah, your brain treats those tiny bites like they don't exist, but your waistline keeps a very detailed record. Every time you eat, your insulin rises to manage the incoming nutrients. When insulin is high, the body prioritizes using or storing that new fuel, significantly reducing the window available for burning stored body fat. Frequent, high-carb grazing prevents insulin from falling, keeping the body in storage mode. You're basically training your metabolism to demand snacks every time you walk past the kitchen. Those little nibbles can add up to an extra 500 calories you never counted. The solution isn't willpower, it's structure. Eat your meals, then close the kitchen. No exceptions for taste testing or cleanup snacking. Speaking of what you put into your body, let's talk about the very first thing you consume every day. Your morning coffee ritual feels so disciplined. You're skipping breakfast and saving calories. But by 2 p.m., you're face first in the office vending machine, convincing yourself a Snickers bar won't hurt. Coffee tricks your brain into thinking you're not hungry by suppressing appetite hormones. But it doesn't actually fuel your body. So while you feel fine for a few hours, your metabolism is quietly panicking. Your blood sugar crashes, your stress hormones spike, and your body goes into conservation mode. Then the afternoon hits. Your cortisol is through the roof, your blood sugar is in the basement, and you're so hungry you could eat a small child. Skipping breakfast doesn't make you disciplined, it makes you a ticking time bomb. Start your day with protein and some carbs. Your afternoon self will thank you. Okay, habit number 3, and this one's gonna hurt. That 1,200 calorie diet you're so proud of, it's sabotaging your metabolism harder than anything else on this list. When you drastically cut calories, it doesn't just burn fat and call it a day. Your body thinks there's a famine happening, so it slows down every possible function to conserve energy. Your thyroid hormones drop. Your muscle tissue breaks down for fuel. Your metabolism becomes slower than a Windows 95 computer trying to load a YouTube video. Here's how you know your metabolism is shot. You're always cold. You're tired all the time. You can't lose weight eating the same calories that used to work. Your hair is thinning. You're obsessing about food constantly. Sound like you? Undereating doesn't make you lose weight faster. It makes your body incredibly efficient at storing fat and burning muscle. You need to eat enough to fuel your metabolism. That means at least 1,600 to 2,000 calories for most women, more if you're active. But proper nutrition is only half the battle for a healthy metabolism. The other half is what happens when you're not moving or eating at all. 6 hours of sleep might feel like enough, but your hormones are keeping score. When you're sleep deprived, your body produces more ghrelin, the hormone that makes you hungry, and less leptin, the hormone that makes you feel full. It's like someone cranked up your appetite and turned down your satisfaction meter. Tired you has 0 decision-making skills. Gas station donuts suddenly seem like reasonable dinner choices. But here's the part that really hits women hard. Poor sleep jacks up your cortisol levels, and cortisol loves to store fat around your midsection. Your body literally thinks it's under stress and starts hoarding energy as belly fat. 8 hours of sleep isn't a luxury, it's a fat loss requirement. But if you can't get your sleep in order, at least sort out your water intake. Your body is terrible at distinguishing between hunger and thirst. That 3 p.m. craving for chips? You might just need a glass of water. Dehydration triggers the same signals in your brain as hunger, so you end up eating when you should be drinking. Here's what most people don't realize. Your liver is responsible for metabolizing fat, but when you're dehydrated, it has to help your kidneys process waste instead. It's like asking your liver to do 2 full-time jobs. Something's gotta give, and usually it's fat burning that gets put in the back seat. Dehydration slows down every metabolic process in your body. Your cells can't function properly, your digestion gets sluggish, and fat burning becomes about as efficient as rush hour traffic. Plus, your body hoards water when it's dehydrated. Most women need at least half their body weight in ounces of water daily, more if you're active or drink caffeine. Hydration is key, but it won't matter if you're spending the rest of your day in a metabolic coma. Let's talk about movement, or lack thereof, in habit 6. That hour at the gym doesn't cancel out 8 hours at your desk. Your fat-burning enzymes clock out the second your butt hits the chair. Your muscles literally stop using fat for fuel when you're sedentary for extended periods. Prolonged sitting deactivates lipoprotein lipase, the enzyme responsible for breaking down fat in your bloodstream. Even if you're in a calorie deficit, your body becomes less efficient at actually using stored fat for energy. The fix isn't complicated. Set a timer for every hour and move for 2 minutes. Walk to the bathroom the long way, walk up and down the stairs, do some desk stretches, take phone calls standing up. These tiny movement breaks reactivate your fat-burning machinery and keep your metabolism humming throughout the day. Okay, let's look at habit number 7. That green smoothie you're sipping religiously? Well, it might be packing more sugar than a can of Coke. Shocked? I was too. Liquid calories are sneaky little devils that slip past your brain's calorie counting system like they're wearing invisibility cloaks. Your brain doesn't register liquid calories the same way it registers solid food. You can drink 400 calories in a smoothie and still feel hungry 30 minutes later. Fruit juice is basically sugar water with a health label slapped on it. That fresh pressed orange juice spikes your insulin faster than actual candy. At least when you eat an orange, you get fiber to slow down the sugar absorption. Even protein shakes can sabotage you if you're not careful. Adding peanut butter, banana, oats, and honey to your post-workout shake turns it into a 600-calorie dessert. You're essentially drinking a meal on top of your actual meals. The solution is simple. Drink water, black coffee, plain tea, and the occasional protein shake with, I hate to say this, just protein powder and water. Yuck. I know, but it's gotta be done. Habit 8. You're eating too quickly. By the time your brain gets the memo that you're satisfied, you've already cleaned your plate and started eyeing seconds. Speed eating bypasses every natural fullness signal your body has. So instead of inhaling that bowl of pasta without chewing, here's what you need to do. Slow down. When you eat slowly, you taste your food better, and smaller portions become more satisfying, and there is no 20-minute lag between your stomach and your brain. Put your fork down between bites. Chew each bite thoroughly. These simple changes can cut your calorie intake without any conscious restriction. And for the not-so-conscious eaters, habit number 9 is for you. Eating while scrolling through your phone, watching TV, or working at your computer turns every meal into a calorie free-for-all. Your brain completely misses the eating experience, leaving you unsatisfied no matter how much you consume. When you're distracted while eating, your brain doesn't encode the memory of the meal properly. It's like the food never happened. You can eat an entire bag of chips while binge watching a show and still feel like you haven't eaten anything substantial. Boredom eating is mindless eating's sneaky cousin. You're not actually hungry, you're just looking for something to do with your hands and mouth. The kitchen becomes entertainment, and food becomes a hobby instead of fuel for your body. Your brain needs to be present during meals to register satisfaction. When you're multitasking while eating, you miss all the sensory cues that tell you when you've had enough. Create a designated eating space. Put away all screens during meals. Focus on the food in front of you. Right, last one. When you drink, your body prioritizes processing alcohol over everything else. Fat burning, muscle building, and even basic metabolic functions take a backseat until the alcohol is cleared from your system. Weekend drinking can undo an entire week of careful eating. 2 glasses of wine on Friday, cocktails on Saturday, and brunch mimosas on Sunday can easily add up to 1,500 extra calories.
Oh no.
That's almost an entire day's worth of food in liquid form. Alcohol also lowers your inhibitions around food choices. Drunk you think's late-night pizza is a brilliant idea. Hungover you craves greasy comfort food and has zero motivation to make healthy choices. One night of drinking can derail your eating for days. But all of these habits happen because of one thing: stress. And okay, stress isn't technically a habit, unless your default setting is chaos and drama. But how you respond to stress absolutely is. Stress is the biggest trigger for every single fat-gaining behavior we just talked about. When life gets overwhelming, you don't consciously decide to sabotage your progress, but stress makes you reach for every single habit on this list. You skip breakfast because you're rushing. You graze all day because you're anxious. You sit more because you're mentally drained. You drink that extra glass of wine because you need to unwind. You eat too fast because you're always behind schedule. Here's what most people miss. You can't eliminate stress from modern life, but you can change how you respond to it. Instead of letting stress trigger every bad habit at once, you need a different playbook. When stress hits, your automatic response doesn't have to be food. Take 5 deep breaths instead of reaching for snacks. Go for a walk instead of collapsing on the couch. Call someone instead of opening a bottle of wine. These tiny shifts in your stress response can prevent the domino effect that undoes weeks of progress. The goal isn't to become zen, it's to have a plan for when life gets chaotic so stress doesn't automatically trigger every habit that makes you gain weight. The good news is that small fixes create massive changes when you know exactly what to target. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one habit that resonates most and focus on fixing that first.